Hi everyone. Good morning. This is Ida with Created to Create. I've had a few requests on the fall bows that I created, and everyone wanted to know how, or several ladies wanted to know how I did the foiling on these bows, and I'm going to share with you how I do that. It's a very easy process. You're going to need the gilding flakes. The ones I have are Harvest Moon, but I think there's one that's called Autumn Leaves that's really nice. If you check the original video where I created this, some of the links are already there for these products. If not, I will post links again under this video for hopefully the dyes that I used and everything that I used to create this bow. And anyway, this is what the bows that I created. So let me go ahead and get started. Now, I use a combination of two different bows because I wanted to have the loop on top. So I used two different bows. This was one, and then this little one was another one. And I'll share with you what they look like. Now, I already cut mine on whatever color paper I wanted, and it's just a cream colored paper. There's no design on it, no nothing. This is where the gilding flakes come in. And I'm not going to put it together, but I am going to do the gilding flakes on there. That way you can see. So I use this one, and this one does come with the tail part. So there's the other piece to it. So these two pieces come, and then I used another one, and then I cut out of designer paper, which is this bow, and it's got the stitching around it. This is the medium bow by Pink and Main. And this one I cut out of designer paper. And I'm not going to do anything with this one. I'm not going to emboss it or anything. That's why I cut it out of the designer paper. So I'm going to leave that one there aside. Get rid of that. So the next thing that I do, I get a little mister. And I love this one by Ranger. And I do mist my paper a little bit. That way it doesn't tear in the embossing folder. This is the embossing folder that I used, and I couldn't find it anymore. But I did link another one in the video where I did the bows that's very similar and will work for this. So I'm just going to mist it a little bit. You're not even going to, you're going to barely see the mist because this does a very fine mist. And that's all I do. I mist it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my embossing folder, wherever I want the leaves to catch, to get the embossing on here. Let's say I want it there and there. I kind of pick and choose what leaves I want on my paper. And when I put it here, you can see the paper right through it. So you know there's going to be a part of a leaf on these, and then on the tail. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through. Give me a quick second. And I'm already set up to, I put it in the embossing folder, run it through my Big Shot. I just run it through my Big Shot, and I'm not moving my machine over there where under the in frame, because my Big Shot is the plus, so it's bigger, and this my work area is small. There you can see the embossing on the bow, and I try to line it up. I really try to be careful not to get any, if at all possible, any embossing right here on the center where it's very narrow. So I try to avoid that area as far as embossing, so it won't tear. But that's all I do, just an embossing folder. Now I'm going to grab my here's my pen that I use by Heidi Swapp. Now there's several things you can use. You can use these markers by Heidi Swapp. She has a fine point and then one that's blunt. And then you could use I think Cosmic Shimmer has glue as well. And you can use your embossing pad that you use to do embossing with the powder. You can use that as well. So, but this is what I use because um, I have more control. So all I'm going to do, and I'm actually going to put a little piece of paper underneath my bowl because I'm gonna have a mess up here. So all I do is, I hope that I'm in frame. I think that I am. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run this glue pen over the portion where it's embossed, just the raised areas. Like, it's really super easy to do. So I'm gonna do that, and I just do little sections at a time. You could do all of it, I suppose, but I just do little sections at a time. Here's what the flakes look like. You have to make sure you're not under a fan when you're using these, because these will blow everywhere. So I'm just gonna, I mean, this goes a long, long way. So I'm just gonna pick out little pieces of it, and I'm gonna lay it on top where I laid that glue down. And that's all that I'm going to do. And then you're gonna watch the magic happen. You get a small piece. And everything that you don't use, you can actually lay it back down. I mean, pick it up and put it in your container. Usually, I don't do it, but you can. Because I try to be very careful where, so I don't waste. I try not to waste. It's sticking to my fingers because I have glue on my fingers. So, I didn't cover the whole area where I had glue, but I tried to. So I'm not going to close it. I'm just going to cover it and move it. So you can do one of two things. You can go with your brush and press it down and make sure it's burnished in. I usually go with my fingers to make sure it's adhered to the glue, just to burnish it in. And then I'll go in with my little brush and I will take off the excess. Look at how pretty that leaf is right there. That is all that I did to these bows. I'm gonna do it again so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding glue to the raised areas, and because they're raised, you hardly get any glue in between, in the flat area. And this is a blunt tip. The fine tip, I think, for this would be too much work, so you need something wider, like this wide tip one. I'm gonna move my flakes back over here, and then I'm gonna grab a bigger piece and just lay it down. That's all I'm doing. Laying it down where I added the glue. And sometimes I'll even just pick up my project, and let's say I have some there, I'll just kind of dab my paper over it and try to pick up those pieces that are on my paper. Let me move that out of the way. Again, I'm going to burnish with my finger. So it depends on how much glue you add and, the covering that you get on it. That just depends, like I said, on how much glue, and the foiling you add on there. Hopefully I'm in frame. And there it is. Look at how pretty that leaf is. It makes a real pretty statement. We went from a plain, well, let me show you this one instead. We went from just a plain piece of paper to the embossing, and even just embossing already makes a big difference. But then when you add the flakes to it, and these flakes come in a variety of colors, I will list a few in the description box, but they go a very long way. You will probably only buy one and would last you probably your entire life, to be quite honest. But then all you have to do, like I said, is just go over it. Make sure you get the loose flakes off. And then you shape it. Let me remove this. I'm not going to do the other half. Because I'm just going to show you how I shape it. If I can find my tool. You know what? I don't have my tool here. I do have a tool that is, let me go grab it real quick, guys, because I want to share it. This is the tool that I like to use. It is by Sizzix. And all I do is really just like, it's got some prongs right here. It's got a hole in the center. And I just, literally, I just slide it through there and I twist my wrist. This is all I'm doing and pulling it through. That's how I shape my, sometimes my flower petals. Depends on what I'm doing. I like different tools for different things. But this is one of the ones that I like to use when I'm doing this. So here's the bow, and all you do is you glue these pieces down. Let me grab some glue really quick. I didn't want to put it together, but in case some of you don't know how to put this bow together, I'll put it, at least that portion together for you. I like to put this bow together, and to me this is the back side of my bow. This is the front side of my bow. So let's see if we can get it to glue down. Come on. So I'm just adding glue, and I'm not adding it to the center. I'm adding it right there. I don't want you to be able to see the little tip right here to go past this curve right here. I don't like it to show. So I'm going to hold it there for a little bit. Hopefully they'll glue down. And I try to do the same on the other side. I don't like for them to show past this curve. Hold it for a second, and while I'm holding it there, I'm going to add glue, and hopefully this will be a better angle. I don't add my glue in the center. I add it right here, more or less where the tips will be hidden, and they're not going to show. If I try to glue the tips right here, they would show. So I'm going to add glue there, and I'm going to fold them down. That one there, and that one there. You hold it together for a little bit. See where they are? They're not in the center, they're further back. So when I flip it this way, the tips to the bows don't stick out. There's the front of my bow. Not the section that I glued down, but the other portion. And then that's where I would grab this one, the pink and main bow. I love this. This comes in 3 different sizes. There's a small, a medium, and a large. But the large is not real large. That's just what they are, the sizes. Again, I'm just going to slide it through the prongs, and I'm going to just twist my wrist. That's all I'm going to do, because I wanted to have that curved look and not like the paper has been creased. I wanted to have a curve, like a smooth curve. Same here. I don't want the paper to break. I want it to curve. And I'm going to add some glue here. I said I wasn't going to put it all together, and I'm not, because I didn't do the other part, but at least showing you how I do my bows. Right here, I think it doesn't matter, because even if you glue them down in the center, I don't think in this particular bow that it shows. You know, you just kind of have to be the judge of on what dies that you have. But I think these can go all the way to the center without any problem. So yeah, see, I can go all the way to the center and glue it, because the little tips are not wider than the center of that bow. So I'm going to hold it for a little bit. Make sure it's glued down, and then I flip it around. This is my front. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I can get my puppy to be quiet. Pearl, go over there. So then all I would do, I will get my bow, and this isn't the color that I used here. If you notice, this color matches better. This color matches better with the designer paper. This is actually a card that I cut out, and because it matched perfectly and I like the color, but I just kind of work with what scraps I had on my table. And then I would glue these 2 pieces together right there. I would glue those 2 pieces together, And then my little strip, this little strip would be what goes around the bow. In this case, I used the peach one because there was peach in the paper line. But this is the one I would use to wrap around both of these. I'm not going to do it because these papers to me don't match. I'd have to find something that matches with that. But that's all I do to put them together, guys. I use the brush, the glue, and I didn't close my glitter flakes. I didn't make too much of a mess. It wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. Y'all should see my table. I use the glitter flakes, and like I said, they go a very long way. I use this tool to curve my bows. As you can see, it's very well loved. And then I use my little spritzer to spray the paper so it wouldn't, because sometimes paper breaks when you emboss, but if you spray it with water, it won't break. It'll give a little bit. And I don't use tap water from the sink. I use bottled water in my projects. And then of course the leaf embossing folder, but it doesn't have to be a leaf. If you're doing like a Christmas one, it could be a Christmas bells, it could be holly, it could be anything. In this case, I used the leaves because I was doing fall embellishments. And there's another thing I want to share with you. I went to Dollar General and let me move these out of the way. I went to Dollar General and they had some sleighs, guys, that are really nice, and I want to share it with you. It is a 3D sleigh, and I haven't put it together, but this is what the packaging looks like. They were $3. They're wooden sleighs. Look at how beautiful they are, and they are 3D. So they measure 10 inches by 5.5 inches. Very nice size for $3. You can't beat it. And here is one that is not, I just kind of put it a little bit together, but not really, just so I could show you how huge this thing is. It's huge. It's huge. There's the back, there's the front. You could definitely put plenty of goodies or embellishments for Happy Mail in this sleigh. Like I said, mine's not put together. It'll fall apart if I let it go, because I haven't put it together. Very simple to put together just by looking at it. I didn't have to follow the directions or anything because it's kind of self-explanatory. But look at how nice. It's a very nice size sleigh. So definitely this is something you're going to want to go and pick up if you can find it in your local area. But it does come flat like this, and it's only 5 pieces to put together, and it does have the little notches where they go in the holes that are pre-cut into your project. I think this is going to make a beautiful, beautiful presentation for Happy Mail, for swaps. If you want to gift a family member a goodie bag, a goodie sleigh, and even guys, if you use wood glue for this, you could probably put some kind of plastic liner in it and make a flower arrangement of real flowers, or you could just put a piece of foam in it and make a flower arrangement out of silk flowers. Definitely a home decor piece that I think it's definitely worth the $3. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this kind of showed you how I created my bows, and this helped you out. I will link the bows if I can find them in the description box, and all the materials that I use. The sleigh I will not. The sleigh came from Dollar General. So just go to your local Dollar General store. It's in the Christmas aisle. If they have them, that's where you're going to find them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone's having a great day, and God bless. Bye.